Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the topic of group discussion with you. Group discussion refers to a situation in which a small number of people meet face to face and discuss a problem or an issue to reach a consensus. So we can say it refers to a situation where we meet to discuss a problem, to discuss how events should carry out, and there is one thing that through this discussion we need to reach a consensus. Consensus means all need to agree on a one point. Okay. Yes, next slide. Group discussion is a purposeful oral process of communication which is systematic. Systematic, it follows a certain system. It is a problem solving and decision making process. We can say through group discussion, we solve problems. How we solve problems? When we take the inputs from each of the members. Everyone does brainstorming and participates. And this way, we reach the solutions of the problems and we make decisions on the basis of the inputs we receive from the participants. So, it is a very purposeful and action-oriented activity. Yes, next slide. Definition. A group discussion is a methodology used by an organization to gauge whether the candidate has certain personality traits or skills that it desires in its members. So group discussion is a method, is a way, is a process which is used by an organization to assess the traits of a candidate, and it is required everywhere. Group discussion assesses your personality traits, which is desired by the organization. In this methodology, the group of candidates is given a topic or a situation, given a few minutes to think about the same, and then asked to discuss it among themselves for 15 to 20 minutes. So this is the process of our ongoing life. We need to discuss on certain topics, and when it is carried out professionally with a particular aim, it requires a number of 15 to 20 minutes time, and a topic is given. You need to give on the spot inputs, and how you can give it? You need to be well read, you need to possess analytical skills, and then you are to give constructive contribution for the successful decision making and for the beneficial problem solving. Let's move further. Why do we have a GD? Why do we have a GD? To understand a subject more deeply, when we discuss subjects with others, we need to know their inputs, their insights. In that way, we understand the subject deeply, more clearly. Group discussion helps to increase our thinking critically. We gain to think critically. Critical means when you assess the situation from pros and cons, means taking the situation with its negatives and positives. Solving a particular problem, yes, group discussion does help to reach a solution to various problems. Group to make a particular decision, yes, as we discussed earlier, group discussion is required to take certain decisions also. It gives us the chance to hear other students' ideas. So we can say through group discussion, when we are sitting in a group discussion, it helps us to listen to others, which we generally do not do. This is very effective quality of a person, of a candidate, not only for students, for professionals, that through group discussion, we need to listen to the others so that we can also participate accordingly. So it comes out that group discussion improves our listening skills. Yes, when you listen to the others, you improve your listening skills. It increases your confidence. It is not written that group discussion increases your confidence, Group discussion increases your confidence through a particular process. How? You are already having a certain level of your knowledge, and when you display it, you increase your confidence. Your confidence has been increased by listening to the others, by speaking to the all participants, by facing all the audience. Next point is it can change your attitude. What does an attitude mean? Attitude means how you approach the things. Do you approach the people or situations in a positive manner or in a negative manner? This is, you know, built through the activity of group discussion. I hope these points are helpful to you, and we'll have more points in next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Body support of GDs means how you are to carry out your body language through group discussion. So here are certain positions and what does they signify. So the first position is you need to push your body to the back of the chair. It keeps you alert. You need to push it in that posture which makes you appear alert. This is to be kept in mind. Next is keep your hand on your lap, right? You're not to be so particular that you need to take in mind the position of your hand on your lap. It is meant that your hand should not be moving like this. So when your hands are settled properly on your lap, it indicates that you are logical person, right? Hand movements should be restricted. As I have just said, you need not to move your hands like this, like that, because it indicates that you don't need words, you are using your hands. So we are to keep in mind that we are not to be in need of our hands as props while speaking. You should make genuine movements of your hands. It does not mean that you need to keep your hands stick like this. You can move your hands, but in a very genuine, comfortable manner, not over manner. Keep your legs stationed firmly on the ground. Yes, your legs should not be shaking. It gives a casual impression of a person. So when you have made the position of your legs in a firm manner, it gives you a mature position. Keep in mind these body postures. Okay, let's move further. Discussion techniques. Techniques means how we are to proceed with the discussion. So how to join the discussion. We need to join the discussion. If we are not an initiator, then we need to participate in a very mature manner to support what some other participant has said. Yes, you can say that I agree with you and my opinion is this. To support disagreement, this is very important. You know, when you are supporting someone in a positive manner, that you can acquire naturally to speak in a gentle and polite manner. But the moment when you disagree with someone, that also to be done in a very professional and genuine manner. Means I have my certain disagreements. Sorry, I have different opinion, right? This way, there are certain sentences which can help you how to disagree in a very polite and respectful manner. The aim of the communication is teach you this, how you are to disagree with someone in a very genuine, polite and respectful manner. The second next point, to make a point very strongly. How you can make a point very strongly? It doesn't mean that you need to push a point. You need to be assertive. Assertive means you are confident, clear and convincing. So in that way, you are putting your point in a very strong manner. Strong manner means in a convincing and clear manner. To bring a discussion back to the point. Yes, sometimes the discussion is distracted to other topic and Being a responsible participant, it is your duty, it is your mature participation that you bring discussion back to the actual point of discussion. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Personality traits for group discussion. So we acquire, we enhance certain personality traits which are really very effective one while participating in group discussion. I'll discuss with you one by one. Number one is ability to work in a team. Yes, through group discussion, we need to work, we need to learn, we learn to work in a team. It enhances our communication skills. Communication skills mean our listening, speaking, and prior to participation, we are well read and we write also. So it helps us to increase all the four skills of communication: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Reasoning ability. We need to reason out the inputs given by the participants. Leadership skills. Yes, you can emerge as a leader while participating in a group discussion. Initiative. Initiative means to start something. You can take the initiative. You can start the group discussion by being the first participant, by being the first one to start the discussion. Assertiveness, as we have discussed earlier, how you put your point in a very strong, effective manner, convincing manner, that is assertiveness. We are not to confuse assertiveness with aggressiveness. We are not to be loud, but we need to be clear and convincing. Flexibility. Yeah. We need flexibility when we face disagreement of our inputs. When we face more convincing points other than ourselves. So we need to learn very important skill, that is flexibility, through group discussion. Creativity. Creativity means you know how to be original, how to be yourself, how to be a thoughtful person who thinks out of the box. So it increases your creative skills also. Yes, next slide. Types of group discussions. So there are certain types of group discussions where we get different kind of topics. One is abstract topics, factual topics, controversial topics. What do we think are abstract topics? All that glitters is not gold. Honesty is the best policy. Where we need to think from our understanding, our interpretation on the topic, where we don't get statistics. And factual topics are those where we get statistics, right? Which are factual topics, which are related to the facts, where we can count the statistics. Controversial topics. Religion can be a controversial, reservation can be controversial. Sometimes the topic of gender, that is also controversial. So there can be different types of group discussion. Let's move further. Yes, what could be the sitting arrangement of group discussion? It should be in elliptical order. Why? So that each one can see the other one, right? That is why elliptical seating arrangement is an appropriate arrangement, seating arrangement for the process of group discussion. Let's move further. Participants. What is the correct or appropriate number of participants for the successful group discussion? Normally there are 5 to 9 participants, but if the number is more than 9 to 10, then it will be difficult to monitor GD. If less than 5, then it will not be a good group and diversity of opinions will be lacking. So we can say there should be 5 to 9 participants so that there can be diversity, variety of opinions, and it would end up in a successful, meaningful group discussion. But if the participation is less than 5, how can there be a diversity? So a group discussion is not possible with less than 5 members, and If the number increases 9 to 10, there may be an increase of passive participants, and it will not be a successful GD because all do not get chance to participate. In that way, we need to stick to that number of participation where everyone gets a chance to participate and contribute positively, constructively for the successful outcome of group discussion. Next slide. Yes, what is the role of observer and moderator? GD takes place in the presence of a person called moderator, observer, or we can say facilitator, one who facilitates the discussion. The number can vary. It can change between 1 to 3 as per the purpose and requirement of the group discussion. There can be different purposes of group discussion and requirements. So as per the requirement and purpose, the moderators can be changed accordingly. Next slide. Time and place. Normal time allotment is 15 to 20 minutes, which can be increased as per requirement, and place should be carefully chosen considering ventilation, silence, and moderate temperature. Yes, time should be given when the group discussion reaches a meaningful conclusion, and place should be carefully chosen. It should be properly ventilated. It should have no noise pollution, and as per the weather conditions, it should have that moderate temperature. Let's move further. Types of participants. There can be three types of participants. Number one is verbose participants. Two is mum participants. Three is clowns. Verbose, those who speak a lot. Those who do not give chance to others to speak. Mum participants, passive participants. It means when I am not participating in a group discussion, it means I am not interested or I am not well prepared for participation. Number three, clowns. Clowns who are very casual, who are non-serious, and they make fun of the professional situation. So all three participation with this aspect, verbose, mum, and in a clown manner, are negative participants. Next slide. How to face GD? Let's see how we are to prepare ourselves to participate to face GD. We need to work on our communication skills. We need to improve our communication skills by practicing regularly. We need knowledge and ideas regarding a given subject, and how we can get prepared with that. We are to be well read. Next is we need to learn to coordinate with each other, so that we should learn to work in a team, and sometimes we have our inner ability to lead also. There we can emerge as a leader. There should be an exchange of thoughts. Yes, this is important. We should not be speaking all the time. We should be receiving also. There is an exchange of thoughts in a group discussion. So, next point, we need to address the group as a whole. We need not to look at one participant or the selected participants. We need to address the group as a whole. We need to work on our eye contact. When we are confident, we can address the group as a whole. Next is thorough preparations. We need to prepare ourselves completely with the topics to be well read, with the skills to be well equipped, and in a very calm, genuine manner. Next slide. Tips for summarizing a discussion. Yes, when the group discussion is moving towards conclusion, you need to avoid raising new points. You need to avoid stating only your viewpoints. You need to avoid dwelling. Dwelling means putting concentration only on one aspect of the GD. We need to keep our summary points brief and concise. It must incorporate all the important points that came out during the GD. Sometimes we are being asked that each participant has to summarize the discussion, and there you need to incorporate all the points that came out during the GD. Here comes the role of filtering, analyzing, and precis writing. where you need to filter out the important things. If the examiner asks you to summarize the GD, it means the GD has come to an end. This is very important. If the moderator, the facilitator has asked you to summarize GD, so you are to understand that it is about to end. So you need to avoid raising new points and other things to keep in mind. Do not add anything once the GD has been summarized. Let's move further. Do's in GD. What you are to do while participating in a group discussion. Listen to the subject carefully. The topic being given to you, you need to listen it carefully. Put down your thoughts on a paper. If you are being given a paper, you need to write down the thoughts. Thoughts mean in a single word or 2-3 words. You are not to write an essay. Initiate the discussion if you know the subject well. Yes, you can start the discussion if you are well aware of the topic. Listen to others if you don't know the subject. Listen, students, if you don't initiate the discussion, it doesn't mean you are not an important participant. You can listen to the person who has initiated and further contribute positively, meaningfully in a group discussion. To participate meaningfully in a discussion, you need to continue listening to the others. Support points with some facts and figures. Yes, you need to support the points with some actual facts and figures, which should help discussion to develop. Make short contribution of 25 to 30 seconds, 3-4 times. This is very important points. You are not to speak for 2 to 3 minutes. There are 12 to 15 participants, sometimes 9 to 10. All are to get a chance to speak. So you need to participate meaningfully and very concisely. And your participation should not be more than 25 to 30 seconds. And this you will acquire by practicing. Give others a chance to speak. This is again important because you are to listen also others and you need to give chance to the others to speak. Speak politely and pleasantly. Respect contribution from other members. This is important. You need to respect the contribution of the other members. Disagree politely and agree with what is right. Summarize the discussion if the group discussion has not reached a conclusion. If the discussion has not reached the conclusion, you need to summarize it properly. Next slide. Don'ts. Which are the points that you are to avoid in group discussion? You are not to initiate the discussion if you do not have sufficient knowledge about the given topic. Do not overspeak, intervene, and snatch others' chance to speak. It means you are to give proper chance to the others. Don't snatch it from the others. Don't interfere while the other person is speaking. Next is again a continuation of this point, argue. Don't argue and shout during the GD. You are not to make it fish market. You are to discuss in a very professional, convincing manner. You need to participate as a mature, confident participant. You are not to participate in an immature manner. So don't argue, don't shout during group discussion. Do not talk about irrelevant things and distract the discussion. Yes, here you can play the role of a clown when you talk irrelevant things. Next point. Do not pose negative body gestures like touching the nose, leaning back on the chair, knocking the table with a pen, etc. These are all signs of casual behavior. You need to carry out a positive body language, a responsible body language throughout the discussion. Next slide. So summary of GD. GD is a personality test as it tests your particular personality traits. In that way, it is a kind of a personality test of a candidate. It consists usually in 8 to 10 candidates in a group. So usually, generally, it carries out in a group of 8 to 10 participants. It is held with a particular purpose in mind. Yes, group discussion takes place with a particular purpose. Next is, yes, group discussion aims for a certain quality during its process. There are certain techniques which are to be followed while participating in a discussion, like initiate the group discussion, give others chance to speak, and accept disagreements also in a very mature manner. So such kinds of traits are to be expected from responsible participants. Listening attentively. You need to listen attentively to all the speakers and with patience. With patience, you're not to intervene while the other is speaking. Okay? So in that way, you're not only listening attentively, you are displaying a patient attitude towards the speakers. We come to the end of the discussion of the topic of group discussion. I hope the topic is clear to you. You have understood all the meaningful points, all the points that are required to participate effectively in a group discussion. Thank you, students.